On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, brand new GUDAGUDA, many GUDA characters. Also, hope you're ready to open up your advent calendar this year once again, and plenty of other things, including, yes, I wrote a note so I won't forget Fanservant Friday. I am one of your hosts, swift as a coursing river Omega. With me as always, as mysterious as the dark side of the moon, Lucky.
You can't see it, but I did a fist pump when you gave me Dark Side of the Moon. I was like, yes!
I thought longer than I usually think about intros about how that should go. If you don't know why I'm referencing Mulan lyrics, by the way, people at home, it'll make sense later. Or it won't. It's your choice.
It's your choice. And with that, I hope everyone is enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka Where's My Cha-Cha Glow Up? And while we here at Studio Maker like to bring you the latest in FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for the JP and EM versions of the game, so anyone not wanting spoilers should make sure to send salt to their enemy.
Just all full of all kinds of references today. But yes, have a wonderful, full FGO and Mo. I didn't really intend for that to rhyme when I started it, but it worked out. That's the heart of improv, everybody. Anyway, we've got plenty of show for you today. Some of it will involve yes-anding. But first, I'd like to remind you this episode, as we begin a shiny new month, is brought to you by our patrons like Admiral Harp, Lex OG, Call Me Zed, Carlos Dragon, Flightless Iceberg, Jeremy Vasquez, JDV9000, Just the Fate, Jonathan Hawk, Starlight, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam Kessler, Regent Raptor, Rise of Kenji, Rogue Robin, Charvor, Sean Pryor, some guy named Bob, and Baron the Crow. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. Get access to us early on some other goodies, and it really helps us out. Thank you for your support, as always.
Thank you.
Indeedly-dee. I don't know what day Lucky will be doing his comma rolls, so I don't actually know if those could be live.
When are the Kama rolls, actually?
The 4th?
Is it the 4th?
That could, if it starts Sunday night, then we're not doing anything. We'll be in the middle of gaming. Maybe. Not usually with server reset. Depending on the timing, I don't know. That could be an incentive for all of you to watch. Listen, there's been a lot of summon banners and stuff. Chat will sort us out. Anyway, we'll keep on keeping on until we get that out there. It's the Patreon bit done, so I close that. Now I can mention everybody's favorite Kohai, Mesh. Check in.
Senpai! 起きてください
Because it is time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai regular segment for pro tips. Which, because I say an F-bomb in it, I like to give it a few minutes before I start that segment. Yes, so it is technically the 3rd. Yeah, that is Sunday night. Anyway, I have 2 for you, as usual. One is the one that I'm probably going to be saying until the year is over. Hey, if you want to do Tunguska and stay current with story and stuff, which is also important, because, I don't know how, shit with Grail casting works and stuff, but generally you want to stay up on this, but you need to clear Lost Belt 6. You only have a few more weeks to do it, and we will have a Christmas lotto in some of those weeks, which are important, so, keep on that. Also, new, month, new times, means new items. This month's items are ice, permafrost, pages, or bullets. I will be taking the bullets. I'm not sure what I spent on them recently, but I only have 200 of those. So yeah.
Look at that giant rice ball and her eating it. This gives me life.
Yes. You at home will already understand this because of the power of future vision. It's slightly different. It's fine, same location. Okay. Let's do that.
Uh-oh.
It's okay, I caught it, as opposed to the, twice I've edited thumbnails for something else and to number them and didn't catch it and they ended up in a different folder.
Yeeted across time and space?
That's okay, I found it. Anyway, alright. So, those are your pro tips. Clear Lost Belt 6. Get booted. We have a very quick Records of the Throne record achievement topic. Just catching you all up because my Okuni was kind of a surprise. I have protected her smile, finally.
Woo.
Thank you, monthly EXPs and extra shit. Also, we'll talk about it again later, but there's a new MPCE, and I now have an excess of mana prisms. I'm sure I'll go back to 0 sometime, but I had 10,000, so I bought an immediate MLB, the new CE. I will rep my Python. But that's all for that, so that means that we can scooch along, hop along.
Champion.
Like a frog. 2, did you finish your master missions? Which I kind of hope so, because they're butt simple this week. You need to complete 5, then 10 quests, defeat 3 divine servants, defeat 15 each of enemies who are demonic and humanoid, and then defeat 20 enemies, whoever the fuck. Any enemies, defeat them. This is, butt simple. I'm sure the intent is for you to be catching up on your interludes, with the interlude campaign having engaged. We, mentioned that news last week. Yes, I had to double check, but that was last week's show that they announced it. or just do dailies, because you've got some of those free. Should be easy. Clap. Anyway, that'll take us on down to Skelegrams, which have nothing to do with Padoru. Yes, I see you out there. It is December now, though I've created a different seasonal self. Anyway, in JP, technically first, GUDAGUDA Super Goryokaku from the 29th until the 19th of December. So it is a 3-ish week event. 3-week adjacent. But we got a new GUDAGUDA event. Deja Nobu jokes are drifting in. I'm not really sure what exactly is going on, but it seems like there are a lot of cars and highway stuff, but also, the Sengoku. Much stuff. One of your EXPCEs, though, is Nobu in a little car. I'm sure that there are many Nobu enemies that are car-related as well.
I have seen so many gifs about that. Yeah. The Nobu car is amazing.
Yes. Also, great fucking CM. I happened to be awake when the stream was playing, and it was very, very compact.
I actually haven't seen the CM, now that I think about it.
You should go check it out. It's on FGO's YouTube, the full-length short versions. But it's very well animated, and there's some stuff in it that is, reasons why we'll reference things later that everybody guessed some stuff, but it's also, very well animated and made. So, log in during this event period for apples for all the 3 weeks. On the 7th day, you get a gold apple. All the 6 other days, you get a silver, so keep your apples rolling. This is another feature that I can't wait until they start importing into NA. I know that people aren't necessarily the happiest about 3 weeks events, but, loads of apples. It's like loads of money. But we have announced officially we have a new Archer Welfare. You are going to get 4-star Saiki Magoichi, who does get double EXP during this time period. We also have new summon banners. Also, I feel like is your mic stand a little loosey-goosey today? I feel like whenever you go to type or something, your mic stand wobbles. I can hear it wobbling back and forth.
It might be. Hang on, let me tighten some things up here.
I do have to do that.
You lift it up here. It was a little low, so let me lift it up, adjust. People in the chat are saying I should go watch it right now. I will, as soon as I can find it.
But, obviously, new event means new summon banners! Starting off, with the initial reveal in the CM and the stream and everything, we have new limited SSR rider Takeda Shingen. The Tiger of Kai is here. Woo. Also, SR Berserker Nagakura Shinpachi. Also limited, brand new. And also we included Mori as the raid up on this. You already got your Izo on the Evocation Festival banner. It's time for Mori Nagayoshi to come back. We also have dangerous levels of Medusa ass on her granny bike. Thank you, as always, for your 3-star CEs. We are blessed. So we're having fun. But also, we've already got more banners. The event has been out 2 days, and they've already announced a second wave of banners. So you're looking at Okita Saito Mori banners and Hijikata Saito Mori banners as well. We also have a deal where Nobukatsu's back in the FP Gacha if you're looking for that.
It's Wit Studio, that's why.
But also, as, you can tell from the CM and the event and the general vibes, there's, a 90% chance there's another new limited SSR for this event, so everybody hold on to your butts.
I'm excited.
Let me check the Nobukatsu campaign. Obviously, the FP Gacha will add the 3-star CE, but let me see if they did indeed do the... Yes, actually. They have several 3-stars, so you can also get access to some previous years. Very briefly, they had some crossover with the Evocation Festival, and yes, you can get at least for now, you can get the Yamatai Koku and Fearless and Invincible CEs. That might still be related to the Evocation Festival, though. But it is nice for them to put some stuff back. It also looks to be a pretty straightforward one type of point event, so that's nice. You also get, random power-ups and stuff. But yeah, so, brand new GUDAGUDA blasting in. Everybody very excited, Not, as Lucky alluded to in the intro, not exactly what we were hoping and thinking, but we have, rolled up a few new things as well.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited. We'll be talking about the new units later, but they all seem pretty good. And our Sengoku crew is getting very fleshed out. Just need a little, Date Masamune action. I think you said this elsewhere, but it is kind of surprising that we got a brand new Shinsengumi guy, and not one of the Shinsengumi guys we have previously established. I don't know if we're I mean, in the event, Kondo is kind of a scumbag, so... But I don't know if we're, like, holding him back for, like, a 5-star sometime. Who knows?
No, I don't think he... Honestly, he's... I don't think the way that they portray Kondo Asami is... No, it was a Kamo, wasn't it? Was it Kondo or Kamo?
Was it Kamo?
I think it was Kamo.
I think I may be misremembering, because I'm pretty sure, you know, in some of the many Shinsengumi flashbacks, we've spoken to Captain Kondo, but I don't actually know if he's ever appeared on screen. Oh, was it Kamo Serizan? Yeah.
Yeah, Kamo, because Kamo was the one that was portrayed, and Kondo Asami was the one put in charge with the other one. So
yeah, so we keep referencing Kondo, but we haven't actually seen him. That would probably be a preclusion from playable versions yet.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Of course, he should have been a GUDAGUDA and a type-based type thing. Yeah. So, still, you know, we're having fun. Also, there are. Sorry, go ahead, Lucky.
I was about to say, it's like, I can't actually remember the GUDAGUDA frickin', NPC gel list right now, so...
It's so huge, and we've got at least 2 more, because unless one of those is, like, one of Super Kenshin's, like, Ascensions, is the armored figure we saw, but there's also a guy in the CM who I referred to later as Ravana ass-looking ass. No, seriously, I posted a shot of Ravana's theme in the JP chat, like, the weird Kamen Rider villain bug guy, you know, looks like a Power Rangers season villain. Like, that guy also looks a lot like Ravana from 14. FF14, I should say. If somehow you don't know what I mean when I say it, when I or Lucky says 14. He's very bug-like, and he has 2 swords, and he fights guys. GUDAGUDA, yeah, it's a big jail. And it's not getting any smaller, but, you know, we'll see how it shakes out. Also, obviously not chronologically here, but we did get an update on that stream and from some other announcements that there is indeed a new Christmas event coming. I believe this one might require LB6 cleared. Or is it Trom? Is it 6.5, I think they said? But it will be written by none other than Nasu himself. Nasu apparently taken his vacation days after, his serious health issues. Had a real problem with asthma in the start of the year. But apparently taken his free time after recovering to write all your favorite seasonal events. So yes, I do not know what fresh hell awaits us for Christmas with a Nasu write, but it's gonna happen, and they've got the time for it. So, also a lot of people are wondering, will we get the full the double welfare? We may. We have room left in the year for it for sure. Yes. Okay. So you do need Traum. I mean, I don't know. Seasonal events are weird. I feel like at times Nasu's like taking some time off stuff. Like y'all will remember when when we did Saber Wars 2 and people were like, where the fuck is Halloween? And Nasu was like, I left that shit in the previous era. But this seems to be like, I don't know if like, is it like, the cross promotion, the translation and localization team is asking Nasu questions about Lost Belt 6 and he starts thinking about Lost Belt 6 shit again, or just, the natural flow of things. So, we'll see who got up. Do we know who wrote Tron, by the way? Is that known? FQ does not necessarily exactly state who wrote, what parts anymore, but it's out there. Also, yes, I forgot to mention that was another thing on the stream. There is going to be another Fate special TV project. I think they're going to do some more Fujimaru Doesn't Understand, but it may include some Trom spoilers, so everybody watch out. Honestly, in general, they announced their winter caravan as usual. It's going to be touring around several places, so we'll have several satellite streams. They've got a key graphic, which is very nice. And also, early next year in January, Aniplex has announced they're doing a Fate project-specific stream, where we'll have a couple of guests up to discuss the fact that it'll be, 20 years since Fate's Day Night. No exact guarantees on, knowledge, and I seriously hope, especially with the health issues, that Nasu is not going to announce and take on a, Fate's Day Night remaster, possibly with new scripts. But if it's just the Mahayo treatment, that might be okay. I know he loves to work, but he does need to take some breaks occasionally. He's going to block out some time, whenever the fucking Elden Ring DLC gets announced. But, yeah, no. It's going to be an interesting couple of months for Fate stuff. And we still don't know when they're going to be ready to pull the trigger on that season of Strange Fake. Also, as we talked about last week, this does probably mean we will not see another Ordeal Call main story event this calendar year. I would expect probably early next year then. On the converse, it does kind of seem like Lysengal is aiming to actually, hit you with seasonal events and new SSRs you care about rather than, sandbag for story, like how Lost World 7 was kind of handled. So I guess we'll see how people feel once everything's said and done. Yeah, the schedule has been thinner because they're on the 3-week rotation, and also they've had to take some basically no event time. I think somebody counted up and said that, technically it's not small bursts. Sorry, someone in Patreon chat's asking if it's content in small bursts. It's not in small bursts, it's just that, as you guys know from playing NA, right? Events are usually 2-week pattern. So you have the first week to do all your main story shit, everything's time-gated or spread out somehow, and then usually on the 7th day, there's okay, here's that extra splash of epilogue or bonus content or the CQ or whatever, and then there's nothing going on for basically that last week, so you can catch up and do missions, fill the point ladder, farm, whatever, right? Now that JP's on the 3-week schedule, basically now you have that entire 3rd week to farm out, which, like I said before, I'm sure some of our, community will enjoy that extra week because some people have, straight up missed servants and stuff that they can't get, but it does kind of tend towards if you are, already playing FGO fairly seriously and could already complete events in the 2-week window, you don't really need that 3rd week and then there's nothing to go on. Yeah, somebody in chat is even saying it kind of sucks. It's just, if you're already playing FGO seriously, it doesn't matter. And there will be other content to, log in and do every day with, the Bleached Earth quests, but those are supposed to be high difficulty, so it may not be something for you to do all the time. We'll see, if in the new year we wrap around some other stuff, because, there's... Nissan has said they're doing less reruns, but they're not committed to no reruns, so we will still see how stuff shakes out with the schedule. They will probably have to, clock us with some main interludes or some reruns just to quote-unquote sandbag for story content if it's not ready. Yeah, detective quests were great. We didn't talk about them a lot, but just the fact that you could get, a small selection of infinitely recurring missions, some of which were, when you got to the S rank was, 5 million QP a pop.
Mm-hmm.
Good shit, thumbs up. I appreciate that. But yeah, so everybody bolster for whatever the fuck we're gonna get on Nasu Christmas. Maybe
you think he'll follow? Do you think he'll follow up on another Lost Belt or something?
I mean, there's speculation that it could actually be Trom related. Though it could also just be the fact that strictly speaking, the GUDAGUDA we just had in NA, you don't have. There's no reason for you to clear 5.5 for it. It's just that they want you to fucking catch up on the story.
I'm gonna need Santa Charlemagne, y'all. Give it to me.
That'd be pretty great, yeah.
Give me Santa Charlie.
Or what if that's how we get Carl the Great at FGO? We make him Santa first. That'd be very funny.
Charlie. I want Santa Charlemagne.
But yeah, we'll see if it's directly Trom related or not. There will be, I'm sure, a Winter Festival stream to let us know more, and we'll get the whole works. So keep your eyes and ears peeled. Also, while I'm talking about JP stuff before we wrap back around to NA, new Mana Prism Shop CE in JP from NFF with love. It does feature Playanskaya as drawn by Wadarko, and it increases the bond percentage rate for your servants with the animal trait. It's by 4% individually and probably, I'm going to guess, 10% MLB. But yeah, that's nice. That's cool. It's 20% MLB. Ooh, that's great for bond.
Yeah, no, I was looking at that. I was like, oh shit.
That's great. Turbo at that bond. Give me those. Let me use those CEs, those bond grails more. The new one in NA is, the Python one is plus FP and plus Mastery XP, which is nice, but not as crazy. So it's always good to get your little extra Mastery XP. But, speaking of NA, we also do have a brand new event for us as we're kind of in our interlude period, and then we're going to be starting up our Christmas Lotto sometime. Not exactly sure when. Probably have to hit you guys up with a pregame sometime soon, though. If I remember rightly, this one's pretty straightforward. There's not even an SSR, it's just do Lotto, because, we're clocking. But, Advent Calendar, as we have done for many years now, we have an Advent Calendar event in NA. It started the 30th, so technically last night, goes until the 25th. Log in every day for a special prize. These can include, a few mats, a few QP. I think there's usually some Mana Prism or some apples in there, some EXPs, all the normal shit you get. But there's also usually on big days a few Saint Courts and a few tickets hidden in there. The first day was a summon ticket, so hopefully you have logged in to get that already because it'll be skibbity-scop gone by the time this goes live on YouTube. But yes, remember to log in every day for a little present. I'm sure that if you join our Discord, link in the video description if you're not already there, that whatever the new event is, everybody will be yelling about it at 11 p.m. Eastern, either because it's cool or because It's not cool. What do you mean I got 3 hero proofs? And then, when it's 3 bones, everybody will be bones.
Bangs!
Did you make evil bone and emo just so people can bone zone? I'm just, in my mind, when I said that, I'm just hearing the Minecraft skeleton, damage sound, little boning around. Always bones. But yes, after a solid 25 minutes, that's our news.
Just a fucking background coughing.
Yeah, I leaned way back. Still got it a little. Sorry.
Just a little bit.
A little dead air there.
Alright. So, with that, it is time for this week's Let's Talk FGO Mailbag, the segment where we read what you have to say and comment accordingly. This week we have seven lovely submissions, and we'll get to them right meow. So sit down, relax, and make sure you have a nice warm drink in hand if you're, suddenly experiencing cold weather. If it's hot weather, you can still have a hot drink. I don't care. You do you. So, this first one comes from the master who is prepping for Peepaw summoning in 2025. They say, "Hi, Luck and Omega. Currently having headaches from winter-related stuff, but trying to resolve it somehow. I think I got maybe slapped a little bit of the cold bug yesterday. I was dead. I didn't play video games. I didn't watch anything. I just kind of existed in my bed and listened to an audiobook.
Yes, the classic.
My question this week is, I've seen more and more gacha games have a devback/official PC client of their game, so I'm wondering if there's a Lisango got off their humps and made a PC client. Would that help both of you schedules/PC performances? Many thanks for your guys and lore videos, and please stay cozy." If I'm gonna be absolutely honest, I don't necessarily need a PC client for it. I just need them to let me not have to do a goddamn transfer code anytime I want to switch from my phone to my computer. That's it.
Yeah,
we gotta...
the Google Play partial binding is cool, but as someone who did move phones earlier this year, that only works if you are completely abandoning your old phone.
Yeah.
I know that probably in this day and age we're a little, what's the word, reluctant to go with the X integration. But some sort of more robust account system besides the transfer code would be nice.
Because like I said, I have no problems using currently I'm using LD Player for a couple things. I believe I only really play Blue Archive on my PC right now, as I do not play as much gacha as I used to. I have a few of them installed just for posterity's sakes, but normally I'm only playing Nikkei, FGO, and Blue Archive at this time. And Blue Archive I can usually just throw up on LD Player. I have Nikkei, because Nikkei actually has a dedicated PC client, which is very good. I heartily recommend it. And FGO's on my phone right now. If I was to put FGO on my I genuinely honestly, if I had my way, I would just say we just stream every Friday, and I just stream for you guys all the time, do rolls and all that crazy stuff. But that would mean that I could only play on my PC and would not be able to take FGO on the go. So whenever there's a venter around, I'd just be sitting at work, just thinking, oh, my AP's full right now and I can't do anything. My AP's full right now and I can't do anything. My AP's full right now and I can't do anything. That would drive me slightly mad.
It's a pain in the butt process.
So
it's the same for since Google used to let you fucking capture gameplay and stream it straight to YouTube on your phone as just an inbuilt app, and then they dropped that for some reason. So that's why you don't ever see the FGO gameplay out of me anymore, video wise.
So it's one of those things. I used to do mirroring on my phone, but that has its own issues because then I'm transferring data through a cord into my computer, which then has to read that data and put it on the screen. And I tried doing it with Bluetooth, but that was weird. Doing it with the cord, it was weird. Sometimes the program would get weird. Basically, the more moving parts I added to it, made it just, more points of failure. So while I do think a PC client would be neat, that is not what I need from FGO. What I need from FGO is just for a way for me to play between different devices easier, because we have emulation for everything right now. And honestly, I don't think PC emulation necessarily hurts FGO in any way, unless they're one of those weird little people who like to get into the code and do weird shit because you're little fuckers who can't just let things live.
It's been a long time since I even saw or heard of an FGO leak, so I don't know.
That's true.
It might be good.
But, so, yeah. Do you have any additional thoughts on that, Omega?
On the subject of, would we ever get, PC client. I mean, like I said, it would be cute for capturing footage, on my end, just like Lucky's end. But I don't know if we ever would get there. I just do think that as the nature of the phone game is that your phone gets full and wears out and all kinds of other shit, or just gets old. Like it would be a lot easier and a lot less stressful for everybody if the transfer process was better. So yeah, I agree. I think I wish we had a more robust account system and a guaranteed universal, transfer.
With regards to schedules and PC performances, again, while I do I would enjoy playing FGO in the background of streams while we did the show and stuff. Other than that, I'm not entirely sure what people would want from us. Omega is pretty tight with his wallet, and while I'm not afraid to burn my soul's fire, I don't think I ever spend enough amount to, actually make a full video about it. So I don't think, many people would turn out for that, personally. If you want to see me spend a couple $100 in FGO and, maybe scream about it, let me know, but if it's just one or two people who are like, yeah, I'd watch that, well, guess what? That's only two people out of the, the 3,000 that we have, and I'm just like, But with that, let us move on. This next one comes from the Tarnished Origin, Elden Lord of Dragon in Training, I think. So, they say, question, hello Orlo, Lucky, and Knowledge Count Omega. I'm writing to you today with a complicated question. The lack of line breaks and frickin' tabbed paragraphs offends me slightly here.
Well, there's definitely so the return key was hit at a couple of points, but we didn't double space that. Or Reddit spacing, as the kids call it.
Reddit spacing? What? What is this Reddit spacing?
Reddit does an extra line break.
Oh, I get it. I'm old.
Yeah, we're all old.
So, let's continue here. I listen to other shows and podcasts, and the one I listen to, you don't have to say the name for the recording, is Smobcast. Why do you say that? It is a FGO podcast that talks about current content and usual mechanics later as the host do showcase videos and gameplay reviews. It also turns out that one of the hosts skipped all of LB6 and maybe a lot more story, as he even suggested Aurora as a servant when he was just cooking up servant ideas for a weekly topic. I asked about it as a comment, just to wonder if he was scheduling situations of other live stuff, but then it became a reply of people saying that the other FGO podcast, which I think is you, barely even played the game itself. What?
Also, we're not. I mean, we bill ourselves as an FGO podcast. We definitely can't be the only people out here doing that.
Yeah.
We may have been doing it the longest, but I don't think we're the only.
Nah, we're slow and steady, but no.
I mean, like I said, our pedigree for getting this started is pretty long. It was the month the game launched, we were doing the first episode of this shit.
Yeah, we just don't do a lot of videos and stuff.
we don't do gameplay videos for FGO for the reason we just described.
Anyway, they go on. So, is it bad for a podcast about the guts and knowing FGO being counterintuitive for skipping story? Or does that mean that you guys need to start knowing guts mechanical layers of FGO to get in the remaining crown of people that watch FGO content and maybe fought off any growing stagnation? I don't know if it's an issue anymore. Sorry about the late thing, but thanks for reading it out. If you do, have a good evening and chill weekend. Good vibes. Woo! Well, so, this is an interesting thing. So, in my personal opinion, people play FGO for different reasons. I play FGO because A, I like the story, and 2, I like the characters. I love every time a new character gets up, guess what? This is Lucky. I throw down my fucking keyboard. I start typing in things and I just start reading fucking articles. I want to know who this person is, what they did, what relations, what references I can make about this. That's what I'm interested in. Same with story. I love story. I am one of those people who do think that Lost Belt 6 is probably one of the greatest stories in FGO and in also verse as a whole.
It's pretty peak.
But when it comes to mechanical things, like damage things, generally, I don't care. I really don't. I literally just want to know this game well enough for me to clear the content so I can move on to the next part of the story and maybe get, and upgrade my characters so I can, tee-hee over them. The only time that I care about numeric numbers on certain servants is one of my favorite ones. That's why, I push, my Tamamos as high as I can, my Sakura phases as high as I can. Not because I care about any of their numerical numbers or stuff, just because I want them to be the biggest and baddest they can be. Listen, I don't care if, Tamakat isn't, a peak Berserker. She is 120, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Big love. You can't see it, but Lucky did the heart over his heart.
Well, and we have plenty of This game has been, because it is so character-driven, the game has plenty of tools that you can optimize and enhance your favorites, some of which are very fiddly and kind of excessive. Look at you, faux pas. But if you have a favorite unit, the game has given you the tools to absolutely drag them with you to the end game, if that is your preferred way to do it. Or if you want to focus, either because you are a more frugal spender, possibly like myself, or just in general, like, you know, you like to see number go up. Many people like number go up. Hell, I like number go up in the right context. I'm going to talk about Slay the Spire later. But the way, you know, that process works is maybe you want to focus on more specific, you know, meta stuff, you know, and specific team comps that fit your servants, because it is randomized. Like, I'm not just part of this server, though I do follow a lot of our Rolling On. I'm part of a few Discord communities, and some of which have some little FGO fans, and, you know, it's always interesting seeing everybody's different response, where they're like, man, dude, you know, I you know, rolled several hundred Saint Courts, couldn't even get one copy of Ezo out of this new banner, you know, stuff like that. So everybody's experience is going to be different on that spectra. And this is the reason why when I write and produce Wanted videos, that I break it into, hey, here's everything you need to know about this character, and then here's everything you need to know about this like character as a unit in the game. Which is also, by the way, I would say, is it an impression we give that we don't understand how the game works? I've talked before about how I'm not good at, like, speed math, so there are certain aspects of, like, the exact nature of damage calc and stuff that I'm not good at doing. But I've been playing this game since it launched, so I usually have a pretty good feel for what's good, you know? I can tell you a 10-hit quick count NP does the thing you want it to do.
Again, a lot of people like to be crunching math, but everyone always seems to boil down, right, you get this unit, then you get your friend's version of the exact same unit, and then you put this all on one unit, and then you just let them go. That's the, you know, 90% of these strategies that I hear from people. And usually, one of the big reasons if people consider them good or not. Can they fit into the double unit meta? If yes, good.
The
if not,
two support
no.
meta is that's FGO's version of Final Fantasy XIV's 2-minute meta. That is the standard template, and it does kind of seem like the game developers leaned into that a little, but I think the idea with that is just about consistency. Now, if you want to ask me, first of all, I want to say this out front, and please recirculate this clip if anything else we say tonight gets clipped out of context. I'm not here to start any beef with anybody. I think our beefing days are done. We had, like, beef one time, and it wasn't super cool, and I don't really need to have internet beef anymore. Unless it's going to drive up my views, I guess. I don't fucking know. But obviously, like you said, people play the game for different reasons. We think very highly of the story, and those are our episodes that get the best views. When we talk about the story for, like, 4 hours, that's what brings in the views. Like, our views are lower because there's a lot less story to talk about. Though I'm sure we'll have very long, depending on how much story content is actually in Tunguska, we'll probably have at least one pretty long show that people will enjoy there. But I'm not going to, like, throw any stones if you do skip the story. I personally wouldn't recommend that. Like, I think the story's good. It can take a long time. I do know that there are people who are not caught up with story because it takes a lot of reading, and that does, as we've discussed, lock you out of certain time-sensitive events, whether you're chasing, you know, high-quality welfares or just rewards and shit. I will say, I don't want to say it's, like, bad. It does kind of strike me as, like, you know, I mean, I guess you still have to beat the battles, even if you're skipping content, but if you're not focused on the story clears, you know, will you be catching every nod, like understanding story-related buffs you get in events? Will you be understanding what dialogue choices, which have mechanical, you know, meaning, you know, do and stuff like that? Are you missing some context from when you have to do high-level story content, which is usually where you need your mechanical edge, right? Like, the things that are the most demanding in the NA version of the game right now are CQs and story bosses. But boy, some of those are demanding. Obviously, like, they give us some tools to, like, fucking brute force those a little, you know, but if you don't have to spend leyline stones, that is technically better. So yeah, that does feel a little odd, but you do have to clear the boss fight anyway, so I guess if you really do just care about the mechanics, like, that's fine.
That's you.
You know?
You do you, boo.
Yeah. If people in comments are out there saying we don't play the game, that's not correct. I you know, chewed through that story plenty.
Well, I guess that's one of those things, like, I will say that when reruns come around, or maybe when a little content, I'm not, making sure I judiciously spend my AP, every day, there's a couple days where I'm just like,
Yeah, we've both said that, like, we have a hard time relating to people who are like, oh, bring reruns back, because we really don't care about reruns. We should more because it's more free resources, but, like, yeah, I absolutely cruise control reruns, and that's...
But again, I mean, that's one of the things of, like, we usually prefer story more than mechanics, and while we should make sure to try and get resources when we can, once you've already done the story, we're just like,
Yeah,
listen, I got a book. Listen, I got a book backlog, I got an audiobook backlog, I got a video game backlog, I got a fucking TV backlog.
Oh, and TV. I'm real bad about that.
Like, listen, I tried, like, we're talking about this later, Omega put Blue-Eyed Samurai ? Down there. Unfortunately, I have not finished the first episode of Blue-Eyed Samurai. I started it.
That's still in that's my notes from last week.
And it's one of those things of, like, I saw it, and I'm like, ooh, this is an art style. Ooh, this is a thing. I watched the preview trailers, I'm like, I'm for this. But, I've been fucking slamming. Actually, I even really think I've been playing video games okay, I have been playing a video game, but I'm not going to tell you which video game because it is super fucking lewd, and I don't want to I out myself on Discord all the time, but I'm not going to out myself on the fucking public internet. But
join our Discord. Incentives. Part of the community. Yeah, no, I think we got shit to do, okay? And we're bad at this. Like, I can't really throw stones at you about Blue Eye Samurai, because, like, yes, I was in a way of, like, logging into Netflix and watching Netflix animation, but, like, people say the second season of Loki is really good. I watched the first one, I really liked it. I haven't seen the new one yet, and it's all out there.
Actually, no, I do not have a porn backlog. Listen, Lucky's interest in porn, waxes and wanes depending on my fucking hormones.
And also, like, talking about games again, like, I feel like it's a thing right now where, like, FGO's actually pretty nice about this, where it's not trying to make it my full-time fucking job. Like, I'm already real down to climb with 14, which is not necessarily that demanding, though it does give me certainly plenty of things to do when I feel like playing it. But, like, I think this is why a lot of these live service games, like, fall out, because they're like, okay, you either have to pay me to play, or you have to commit to a full-time job for this. Because, like, I'm pretty sure Gundam Evolution was trending this week because it finally closed down, which, RIP, game was fun, but also couldn't unlock shit because they wanted you to keep buying battle passes and stuff. And, like, games are already so involving that I'm like, man, dude, sometimes I just want to fucking chill, And sometimes you chill to FGO, but when FGO becomes work, then it's like, that is not chill. That said, I think it's perfectly possible for two separate ideals to exist in this space, because if you are focused on that mechanical stuff, we do an okay attempt. Like, I'm going to talk about Brand New Servants, and I have, like, their number discourse, and, if the audience is interested, I'll double-check, like, cooldowns and hit counts and shit. I try to be conscious of those things, but definitely we are way more likely to nerd out about how cool Takeda Shingen is.
He's so cool!
Like, than to, get into necessarily how good of a unit he is. Spoilers, he's a really good unit. But yeah, like, I think those can be separate, because FGO's fans are also like that. Like, there are a lot of people who are super driven by story, There was fucking articles when LB6 came out about how it was the best thing, people had read all year, shit like that, Like, it's a real drive. And if it's not what you're about, I feel like you're missing, but that's your choice. You got to manage your time.
Listen, it's okay if you don't, like, necessarily enjoy the way that other people do. I think the main thing here is don't think lesser of other people who don't enjoy something the same way you do. That includes, insult them or try to talk them down.
Yeah.
Or, try to change their mind about it.
And like I said, I'm not putting any evil on these people. It just sounds like maybe there was a comment dust up, because comments are often Satan. There is a reason why I do not watch YouTube live comments for any, like, FGO related stream or anything, because it's just chaos mode cesspit. But, like, there's passion for everything, and you couldn't say to us anyway that we're not passionate and driven about this game, because oh my god, how long collectively are our fucking Lost Belt 6 episodes? Some of those are like 7 hours, okay? Like, I think we might, there might be, 16 hours of content in those couple of episodes between the breaks. I'll find out when I decide to release the best of Let's Talk FGO next year before Trom. That's going to probably be in 3 parts because it's so fucking long. So yeah, no, like we out here, we do work. Yeah, no, if you watch our best ofs, because we've got the 5s in there already, that's already probably most of a day. There's a reason why whenever YouTube tells me how many hours people watch, I'm always dumbfounded because it's like 30 days of real time or some shit. Speaking of time ticking. Anyway, that was a pretty lengthy response to a lengthy question. Somebody was trying to get some thoughts out. We do have a few more mailbags if we've got nothing more to say on this.
I don't think I got anything else to say, so we will continue. So, hang on one second.
If you heard me go, there, it's because I fucking took a hit of the water. The H2O.
I took a hit of the chemicals, I guess? Orange soda? What's in this?
Probably corn syrup.
Carbonated water, citric acid, potassium citrate, aspartame, natural flavors, modified food starch, potassium benzoate to protect taste. To protect taste?
Yeah, benzoate's a preservative. It's so that your orange soda always tastes like orange soda, no matter how many decades it's been.
Oh my god! If we were playing fucking red markets, I would say that be shit thing. We just find a fucking crate full of just 12 packs of soda.
That would be a good loot haul in red markets. just some pre-crash soda. God help you if it's actual energy drinks. Like you find a carton of Monster. That shit is gold. That is liquid gold. I was gonna make a color reference, but I don't actually know if Monster is colored. If it was Mountain Dew, you'd call it green gold.
Monster has.
Since I've had a creamy orange soda. I'm a big fan of soda. Runs in my family. But I like all kinds. Give me a root beer. Give me an orange soda. Give me a grape soda. Give me a classic cola. Cherry cola.
I do like most sodas, but orange soda will be my fave. I always weirded out people because everyone always used to drink their sodas cold, but I was like, nah, just give me that shit to me room temperature. I'm good. That's all I need. But let us move on. The next one comes from the Tyrant King, who is praying for a Santa Morga or Nasu fully embracing Padaro and finally giving us Santa Nero. Either way, we win. We're probably not getting a Santa Morgan. Probably not.
No, because we just got Ash for the anniversary servant, who also doubled as Summerborg, and that seems a little redundant.
Yeah.
But this just put the evil on me. It could be Santa Nero. It could be time. I think they showed some Rio concept art for the Winter Festival Caravan they're doing involve Draco, who is, by the way, referred to that way by the Japanese-speaking DAs. I think Aoyuki and Kawasumi both called her Draco.
They go on to say, question, hey guys, with Potaru season in full effect, now I was wondering what is your favorite Potaru caricature? Also, a bonus question, what is your favorite Christmas/holiday movie to watch? Anyway, that's it for me, sending good vibes your way, wah, and hope you have a great evening. If we're talking about Potaru characters, are we talking about characters in the Potaru style, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I assume.
Tiamat.
Collectively referred to as the Padarus. Tiamat is a very cute Padaru, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't really go for the Padaru meme. Just hit me with the classic.
As for Christmas movies, God, I haven't watched a Christmas movie in ages.
My go-to for this season is, as always, Night Before Christmas is a flexible movie. You can watch it on Halloween or Christmas. But I watch the original Die Hard like every Christmas season I can.
Not
Hell,
Christmas.
you can dig it up. I recorded a riff track style video to go along with it on our channel somewhere. Sorry, I cut you off.
It's not Christmas until fucking Hans Gruber falls off fucking Tiny Tower.
Of course. Come out to the coast, we'll have a few laughs. God, Die Hard's so good, y'all. The patrons agree. Shit, maybe I should do like a watch along at Die Hard.
You can probably
play around more with events and stages. You could probably pull that off.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I actually have like a dedicated thing I watch around Christmas. Some people yelling, "I'll be there. I'll be there for you." I don't know, but if Manga does decide to do a Die Hard watch along, I'd probably watch that.
Hey, I got a whole month to figure that out.
Yeah. So let's keep moving on. This one comes from Agent 418, wondering if 4-star rate up is a lie. Sometimes it is. Oh, excuse me. Hello, looking at Mega. Have a good weekend, y'all. P.S. With the price of two $80 packs and 100 saved up sync cords, I got 3 copies of Semi, now MP5, and not a single 4-star servant.
Ooh.
Yeah. Thank you for using the fucking, I don't even remember what I named that one, just the fucking terabit laying down, just, this is my life. Oh god, I really...
It's called on YouTube, but our Discord is...
Do we even have it on Discord?
Oh, I'm pretty sure we got all the on Discord. Oh, do we not have it lay down? Oh, it doesn't look like it.
Probably because I didn't like how it scales, because it does kind of, even as an emote here, it looks kind of weird. It's kind of hard to tell.
I think we were trying to, the thing was, I think we tried to experiment with it being, including the full body or being cut off.
Yeah, but congratulations on the Semiramis. I still do not have one. I am slightly okay with that. The not a single 4-star servant is a thing. Man, like, fuck, what was it? No, I hate to say it, I have never had that problem. There's sometimes where I get like the SSR really fucking quick, but I never have a problem of not getting 4 stars. It's usually just not the 4-star I want. Hell, like yesterday for shits and giggles, I just did the 1/8 Saint Quartz just single pool. I pulled a fucking Nidochris and a Siegfried. I don't need either of them. I burn them as rare prisons, but guess what? They pop up. I'm just like, okay.
Yes, Robyn has said, how many Thomas Shark? Yeah, that's a pretty famous one. Three Tomo Lancers. I don't think I got any, because those rolls were recorded back when that was easier. So I don't think I got fucking any 4 stars. So it's weird. It happens. Also, by the way, I would like to bring everybody's attention. So I didn't realize this, but if you click the emote button, there is a top row for top rated emoji in the Studio Mega server. Assuming that is universal everywhere. Well, let's just say that y'all are very predictable. Because we've got the Fluffy, we've got Hopes and Dreams, Foe. Lucky you'll be happy to know the Commendation one is very popular.
Yeah.
The Friendship one, the Astolfo Blush, and of course, Aku's Extra Thick.
I find it hilarious that our fucking Sashi Smug and Saber Smug are just up there as well.
Yeah, I do believe that is specifically because they are our newest added ones, but
I see
Discord is trying to promote them. But yeah, but if you hover over them, it says newly added. Well, the others just popular. There's fucking feedback for this shit. It's wild.
Let's see here. Frequently used. Oh, I appreciate that the gay panic is used constantly. What am I read is used a lot. Jesus.
Cursed is probably used a decent amount.
Yeah. I know someone who uses Fovent constantly, so that's probably up there.
I don't see it used super a lot, but I did add the Copium.
Cursed is used a lot because of Spartan.
Cursed is used a lot for several people. Yes, Spartan. Oh shit, a Resh Copium. That's still better. That's a big Medusa Copium. There's no need to be so mean. She got her 5-star glow up. Okay, alright, sorry. We started, it's my bad. I started talking about emotes. We lost the plot a little. Where the fuck are we? What are we doing? Where am I?
We are moving on to the next one. So, with that, our next one comes from Monster Girl Aficionado, who says, Dear Lucky Omega, no question this week, sending good vibes, wah 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 wah, and wishing you well. Keep up the great work. Same to you, buddy. Moving right along, this next one comes out. I will endeavor to go to the gym every day in December. I'm going to tell you, don't do that. Make sure your body has time to rest. In order for you to get stronger, you must first heal. Constantly abusing your body will do the opposite of that. Not to mention, you might cause more problems than you're trying to solve. Please, do proper research and look into what you are trying to properly accomplish.
If you do end up working out every day, please make sure to rotate. Don't overstress parts of your body. Switch it up.
Shit. It looks like Steam has a sale now. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I am tempted to actually spend money on a game for myself. There's no question here. There's a statement. But, in regards, that's okay. This is what Steam says are for, to buy a full ton of games that you will barely fucking play. I only bought one game. I'm not saying what it is.
I should double check. I don't think anything's been a low enough price. I've been wanting to go crazy. Because I recently paid quite a lot of money, though a discounted amount of money, to renew my PS Plus for the year. So I've been like, you better give me my money's worth. Which it has been.
Oh, I think I'm, you know what, fuck it. I'll out myself on Discord. Just because I think it's hilarious. Hang on.
Boyfriend Dungeon's only $10. I don't think anything else is super discounted. If I'm gonna spend $10, what I should do is probably buy Lethal Company. That's what the people are all about. Oh, though, what the fuck was that video just played that he's having trouble with because his YouTube thumbnail is fucked? Because I think YouTube doesn't like Remy for some reason. They do be like that sometimes. Void Crew. Is that on Steam? That looks pretty slick. It is. Let's see. Well, we'll put it in my wishlist. My wishlist on Steam, by the way, is currently 148 games.
This is what I'll have to do. It's amazing what you can find on Steam sales nowadays. This is gonna get me people saying, Lucky, go tuck some fucking grass. I'm gonna be like, no.
Lucky already took his grass.
Oh.
I mean, you're unfortunately you're preaching to the choir right now. These people pay us money to get content live, so there's a certain level of sunk cost there. Well, this is why Steam allowed that feature for you to private certain games and activity.
It was on sale. This is God, how do I, I'm trying to, like, man, this is like press X to seize destiny right here. Let's see here. Let's get back to this. But yes, Steam sales. Like, honestly, again, like, yeah, no, buying games on Steam sales, I think, is just like the default. Like, that shit has been like as old as time.
Yeah, they always send me like 5 billion emails. Like I said, I haven't seen anything like crazy deep sales, but they'll get you. Like, when you see a game for like $5 or $2, and you're just like, well, I can't not, you know?
I do not believe so, but I do believe. Hang on, let me do something here real quick here. 1 second. I gotta pull up my Steam. I will. Nope, don't open it. Don't open it. Don't open it. This is the wrong time. Panic.
Careful.
Close window. Safe.
I do believe for a lot of adult games on Steam, a lot of them are usually bundled, especially if they're Japanese, with like a external uncensored patch.
Yes, but unfortunately, it does not remove the thing you were talking about there. So, where is it? Here it is. Then I will copy. This is the publisher, so you are free to look at what they got.
I have heard of this name. Anyway, if you want all this action, you don't gotta support us at the high level on Patreon. Any level of patron support gets you access to our patron chat on Discord. But if you are curious, you do gotta be a patron.
Yeah. Listen, I don't mind out of myself on Discord, but not to the public. I do appreciate the immediate first 2 responses when I posted was based. I was like, yeah. So, let's see here. This is the last one. I had to double check. This last one comes from Soul of the Light Moon Discord. It's been a while. Dear Ranger Red and Ranger Gold. After 10,000 years, 2 months. I'm free. Time to wish you both well and be unfunny. Since I missed so many mailbags, I guess I'll just ask, what kind of teas do you both like? Goodbye to those around as I throw myself back into the cosmic dumpster. Me? Green tea. I actually genuinely enjoy green tea. It's sharp. Has a lot of caffeine in it. Woo, got a lot of caffeine in it.
This is going to sound very, very odd, considering that I was born in Wisconsin and my mother is British, but my preferred form of tea is definitely iced tea, because I've drank a lot of that in my life. Also sometimes called sweet tea. But honestly, I don't know if I have a particular preference, but also I don't have a particular dispreference. Like, I've had green tea before. It's all right. I've had, more regular British tea bags as well. It, tea's tea to me. I'm sure there are some finer cuts, but I do not have any particularly strong preference one way or the other. I should drink the kettle. Use that to make my instant noodles. Sorry, I was struck by a sudden yawn energy.
All right, but I do believe that is it for mailbag.
Alrighty, the mailbagging. Okay, all right. Let me slip in the chair. Actually, my game face. Actually, we have been going for about an hour. Let's take a quick intermission. Okay. Oh, that was a big spike. Sorry. Don't worry, normalize will catch that. Anyway, I'm alive. Awake. It's a wonder what water does. Okay, alright. It's time for free talk, which means our first thing is to talk about new GUDAGUDA. Because we have a bevy of at least 3 new servants to talk about. Yay!
Yay!
Alright, new juice. Archer welfare time. So, we have, as I said before, Saiki Magoichi. And again, I'm gonna guess this probably, since people brought that up, probably is a Sugo Bashima reference, but we'll see. Unfortunately, I don't think profiles are translated, so I don't know which Magoichi it's supposed to be, because there are like 3 people who use this alias.
I think it's one of the first 2. I'm thinking the second, personally.
But yes, this is another, figure from the Warring States period, who, was famous for arming their men with arquebuses, hence guns. Also, the Yadagarasu crest. Anyway, new Archer Hudis. Saiki the Firefly is a high HP, lower attack unit. I feel like welfares usually lean this way just because they are intended to be free NP5s. But we've got a QQA BB deck. High hits on the quick and high NP gain. 5-hit quicks. And 0.75 NP gain, I think. So, pretty good. Pretty juiced. Again, you want me to calculate exactly how that formula translates? That I can't do off the top of my head, but you guys can do basic math in your own time. I mean, it's high. Not as high as, like, a person who's got, like, an over 1%, but we don't do that a lot anymore. Anyway, their NP is very straightforward. It's a single target quick. It reduces the target's critical chance by 20% for 3 turns first. And your overcharge effect is you get 1 turn of both quick and buster up first. It starts at 20%. I think it caps out at, like, 40%. So, you have an NP steroid that scales with OC, but also works on, the rest of your cards that turn. And you're always getting a little bit of a crit debuff. First skill is 3 turns of sure hit. Just straight up. 20 to 30% crit up for the whole team for 3 turns as well. And 20 to 30 stars. Yes, that's right. 30 stars on a skill use when this is maxed out. Plus 3 turns of sure hit. It is a long cooldown. Minimum 6. You've got it leveled up. But still, it's pretty good. Pretty baller. Second skill is 20 to 30% quick and buster up on self for 3 turns. And also 20 to 30% crit up on self for those same. So yes, you have a 30% team-wide crit and a 30% self crit. Hey, do you think you want to crit? Also, just usual damage steroids probably means that with even level 1 overcharge, you're looking at, like, 50% quick up. So, NP's gonna slap pretty good. Final skill is a full 1-turn evade, a 1-turn taunt, 500% chance to do target focus specifically, but, the kind of taunt that's good. Raises NP gain on damage by 30 to 50% for 1 turn. These are some MASH numbers. And is also a 20% battery.
Oh.
So yeah, this is your NP battery, and then also you get the evade, you get a target focus, and you get dramatically increased NP gain when you're hit by 1.5 total percentage. That's pretty good. You will generate NP that way. Your passives, you have mag resistance D, so not a lot of that, but independent action A, so you always have a very high crit up, and special item construction gone. This gives increased arts and increased arts crits, so your 5% arts up and 10% extra crit damage on arts cards, or arts card, I should say, because you are Psycho. But yeah, so, again, I don't think this is really revolutionary. I don't think there's been any new units in the past couple of months that have been like, holy shit, that's crazy, that's never been done before. But it's very solid for a welfare. You're looking at, great focus stuff, you've got hard defenses, you've got defense penetration, fucking, again, 30 stars on a skill before you even start throwing shit out there. That's great, especially with the way they've reworked quick. Very solid. Should work great for some story or challenge quest content. Also, she is adorable and has guns. This is a plus. Very good timing out there. But now let's talk about the Tiger of Kai himself.
Yeah!
Takeda Shingen. He is a new SSR writer. He is limited, I believe has been communicated correctly. So, he's kind of in the middle of both HP and attack. Not super high or not super low on either, compared to other writers. Oddly enough, I found this kind of interesting, though maybe not that weird since he's wearing so much red. He's got a gorilla deck. QA, Buster, Buster, Buster. All of his hit counts are slightly above average, as is his NP gain. I believe he is 4 all around, but I will double check, as I usually just scribble quick notes when I do show notes. Yes, it is 444 with 5 on the extra. And his NP gain is also slightly above average. It's only 0.57, so not like crazy above average, but pretty good considering, those you got 1 quick and 1 arts here. So, his NP, which is indeed Furin Kazan, which literally translates as Wind, Forest, Fire, Mountain. If you guys don't know, for some ungodly reason, this is basically Shingen's banner, the Takeda banners, had the phrase, which is a abbreviated form of a phrase from, I think it's from The Art of War, but it's talking about, the strengths and weaknesses of your army, so what you should be like. You should be, swift as the fire and stuff, and I don't know if that's directly what influenced those Mulan lyrics, but it sounds a lot like it, so we'll just go with that.
I pulled it up real quick. It's swift as the wind, gentle as the forest, fierce as a fire, and unshakable as a mountain.
Yeah. So yes, this is, part of his very famous phrase, and also obviously is hearkening to a, how to do your basic pitch strategy. So This is an AoE buster, anti-army noble phantasm. It's got 8 hits, by the way. Oh, and I did not mention it originally, but Saika's single target NP is a quick with 10 hits, so you will be generating stars. Stars will happen. But Furin Kazan is actually a pretty interesting noble phantasm because it's got a lot of stuff that activates first. It seals all enemies' NP for 1 turn first, before you even do damage. NP seal. It also reduces their card resistances, all 3 color resistances, based on overcharge for 1 turn first, starting at 20% and again going to 40%. So, basically, damage steroid, but in reverse. And then it is a pretty normal AoE. effect. No other things going on there. So not a lot of turn for follow-up, but you will get some. His first skill is, I would call it kind of a charisma, but it's a little more minimal than that. It is the 10 and 20% attack up for everybody, but also reduces a targeted ally's skill cooldowns by 1. Just, free cooldown down. Second skill is almost like the mandatory 50% battery you need on a farmer, but it's a 30 to 50% battery. It's a 20 to 30% buster up for 3 turns. It's also 10 to 20 stars. So there you go, 50% battery up, and star infusion instant, and also, you get buster up. So you've got 2 different kinds of attack steroid. Final skill, the Unrivaled. Love these kinds of names. This is a great defensive skill. So let's put this in perspective. This guy has a charisma where you can lower an ally's skill cooldowns by 1, so 20% attack up. He's got an NP steroid and a 50% battery, which is also star infusion. What's his defensive skill? Oh, just a 3/3 invul, 300 to 500 damage cut for 3 turns. That's just permanent for 3 turns. And also gives him just 20 to 30% NP gain for 3 turns. Damn. Yeah, no, we are really going for Unrivaled. Just absolute brick of a man. All of your skill cooldowns, by the way, are the same. They start at 8 and go to 6. Passives, you've got Riding A, so your 1 quick card will slap. You've got Magic Resistance D again for a little bit of debuff resistance inherently, and another unique variant on Territory Creation this time. It gives him 5% arts up in general, but also gives him a 10% crit resistance at all times. So, we're playing around with the rules. Honestly, looking at this, Takeda looks like a phenomenal farming writer if you want to use the Koyan reloading system. He has his own 50% battery, his own cooldown reduction, and he sets up NP chains because of the way his NP works. Or you could just do the classic NP BB and just be like, hey, you, die. He's a writer, so his star weight is already huge, so big crit chance. But yeah, no, great hard defenses. Great defensive options here. So this is, as I said, real king shit. Like, I don't know if he's gonna shake up the meta crazily, but what are our other buster writers? Like, you've got, Drake, who's really good with the charge and the Pierce defense, Pierce invul, but doesn't have any hard defenses on her own. Earlier this year was Kyokute Bakken. I think that was this year, right? Or was that last year? Was last year the Dog Warriors?
I think it was last. Was it last year?
God, I don't know. But that's an AoE arts that's focused on, like, trait damage, so that's a very different role, though obviously still good. And I think Constantine is very defensive. Let me see. Let me double check. Yeah, he's got a buster completely defensive NP. Doesn't actually do damage, so that's another support. Yeah, so this is some new blood being breathed into our Buster Slamma Jam. Yes, I was right. Taigon Wong is quick. Also, he is once again designed for trait damage. So yeah, if you want just a general purpose farmer, Takeda Shingen, baby, he is going to slap pretty good. Yeah, Mighty Chains also work pretty good. So if you want, like, boss killing, I do think our next guy is pretty rad. But he is a single target buster with, like, a crit focus, so there's only so much you can do in farming situations. You can only have so many attacks per turn. But let's talk about it. We have a cool old man. Nagakura Shinpachi, he is high attack, lower HP. He is another Gorilla Deck buster, quick arts buster. Average hit counts and higher NP gain, since I've been going to the trouble of saying what everybody's NP gain is anyway. Let's go ahead and double check his numbers. But yes, he is 433. He does have I should note, does have slightly better extra hits than normal. He's got 6 hits on his extra. The average is around 5. But his NP gain per hit is 0.67, so yeah, in the above average range. But he does have a very straightforward, very direct kit. Okay, so here's what he does. He's got an NP, right? Single target buster. Boom. So just already the one of the greatest damage outputs there is, just because of the way buster works. But also, it has its own activate first. You're looking at increase your critical damage by 100% for the turn first. Jeez. Removes the enemy's evasion buffs first, and increase on buster performance based on overcharge, so the usual 20 to 40%. So you get a buster steroid, you get a crit steroid, a big crit steroid, double crit damage, literally. Though, admittedly, it's not the most optimal, because obviously if you're using an NP card, you have less cards that can crit. But it doesn't even pierce evasion, it just takes it away. Fuck your evades. Give them to me. Give me your evades. But his first skill gives him a 20 to 30% buster up for 3 turns, pretty standard steroids. and also gives him a one-time 3 turns guts for the usual 1k to 3k. But it does also give him, I think what might be a semi-unique on-hit buff. It gives him 10 crit stars whenever he's hit with an attack. So a kind of interesting, passive star generation. Second skill, just the good old Mind's Eye True. That's the version that gives you, it's B rank, so it's 9 to 18% defense up, but it's 1 turn of evade. So, solid defense sandbagging for a Berserker. And then his final skill is called Battle Ready. This is probably the reason why people are freaking out a little. So this is, before I say anything, keep this in mind. This is on a 4-turn cooldown if you max it out. Every 4 turns you can do this. What is this? Increase your star absorption on your buster cards, of which you have 3 by a lot for 1 turn. Increase your critical damage by another 50 to 100% for 1 turn. Yes, this does mean you can get 200% crit damage if you can apply this skill on the same turn you NP. Also generates 10 stars instantly. So, yeah, no. If you want to talk about pure boss killing potential, his only passive is Mad Enhancement D+. They had to balance this guy out somehow. He's only got like 5% extra buster damage. But if you can get this guy to proc correctly, you are looking at an NP turn, possibly with a Brave Chain, a buster Brave Chain on NP, where you are looking at plus 200% crit damage, and you can get as high as, if you get your overcharge like fully kitted out, you can get as high as like 70% buster up. Enemies cannot evade because you remove it from them, assuming they're not, buff removal. And he does have his own evade for hard defense, does have a guts for a second defensive option. Also, honestly, they were probably pretty correct for a Berserker with a guts. That is a slightly higher skill cooldown at 8 to 6, but not crazy. Like, guts used to be pretty expensive, and he has ways to generate stars that don't involve actually landing hits with his buster cards. Like, that's pretty good. This is going to be a good one to roll deep on and just, do crazy high crit damage multipliers on. Again, this is kind of the thing we talk about when we do actually discuss FGO mechanics. Usually your content is basically split into farm brain and boss brain. Shinpachi, real good at bosses. If you want to just absolutely obliterate like a, one enemy boss wave, if you're doing farming, he's pretty good for that. There's literally only so many hits you can get in, and farming waves can get pretty weird, so I do not know if he's the bestest at that. But he's going to bring the damage, and he's a cool old guy. By the way, if you're, I mentioned this. If you got a whopping plus 200% crit up on that NP turn, if you can get it, that's brutal. Seems like a fun time. If maybe a little over-specialized, he is just buster and crit. If for some reason that doesn't work, you will have a problem. But if you've got the tools to amplify that, go nuts, baby. This does mean that I think that you can literally, if you did do double Koyan, you could literally have him. Actually, no, that the skill cooldown's 4. That you would reduce it to 0 with 2 reloads. You could literally have him activate his third skill twice, right? I think Koyan works that way, or is she only -1? No, it's crazy. It's crazy. This is reloading. Also, by the way, if you're curious why he's an old man, it's because Shinpachi actually lived quite a long time, unlike some of the other Shinsengumi. He died in 1915. Yeah, no, so, like, this guy's gonna be a lot of fun as well. I think both of the banner units are actually totally worth it. I am frightened because these guys are both cool and I want them. I am scared that there will be a second banner with new servants with a, 5-star Super Kagetora on there. Don't know what that's gonna be like, but yeah, no. If you are a Koyan enjoyer, Nagakura Shinpachi is for you. And his Ryuhiken, his Dragonflight Blade. Also, he's got a sword cane, that's pretty rad. I do believe that our guests were very excited to see him on the stream. He's also got, I think, a good selection of drip. Like, he's got, cool old man. He's got, urban fantasy him with, a scar and a dragon jacket. And then there's, the full Shinsengumi him. Oh, I didn't even notice. We got Okuta cameo in his final ascension. That's neat. So yeah, all of these units are real good. Eating well today, lads. And of course, as always, if you want to know more about some of these units, you could, play some video games that these are references to. I myself have reinstalled but not yet been playing Like a Dragon Ishin. But that's our new service. We're having fun.
Yeah.
It's time for Fanservant Friday then, because it is Friday of the Fanservants. This drift did. I don't know how my document scrolled down when I'm not looking at that one, but anyway. So this is voted by our patrons. This month's winner is Belle Gunness. One of the more famous, if not most famous, female serial killers. and she is sometimes known as the Lonely Hearts Killer, because one of the way that she attracted her victims, usually single men, was through personal ads, sometimes known as the Lonely Hearts, column, man wanted kind of a thing. So she would advertise these in the papers, and guys would show up to her farm, and they'd get fucking killed. We recorded most of her name as Belle Gunness, sometimes called Hell's Belle, active between the years 1884 and 1908, by the way. But her birth name is actually, because she was Norwegian, Brunhild Paulsdotter Storseth. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that last one right, but yes, her birth name given was actually Brunhild. And she was apparently quite a big, tough lady. She was said to be at least 5'7" and weighed around over 200 pounds, which obviously means that to FGO servants, she is a giant woman, as tall as Medusa. There are also some other, nicknames I've heard associated with this when I did some research. Lonely Hearts Killer, the Female Bluebeard, etc. So, assassin, as you do with killers. Normally, assassins are not very strong, but because that is actually a thing that is remarked about this serial killer, went for a B rank strength, very bold. Endurance C+, agility C, magic power D, luck B, NP C-. So a little low on the mystery, but physically pretty tough. And yeah, we'll get into the specifics when we talk about some of the other stuff. So class skills, presence concealment C, kind of in the middle for assassins, pretty average. Did have the ability to be subtle, so not like super low, but not super high either. For skills, first we've got the unique skill, which I called Comely Widow A+. This is basically her story of the Lonely Hearts Killer. And this, by the way, is something I think I got off like a Wikipedia description of this format, but a conveniently single woman seeking a discerning gentleman. Presence puts men at ease until she reveals her murderous intent, and then you're already sucked in. So probably a charm, and then, I don't know if we want to be cool, a buff strip, but it could just be like an attack up. You probably should make it opposite gender just to keep it lore-wise, but FG has been playing a lot faster and looser with that, so just a charm in general. But probably a pretty good charm, I should say, at max skill level should be 100%. This is a strategy that was known to have worked and is kind of what she is associated for. And then her actual regular personal skills are kind of normal. In fact, I've had this profile for a while. For FGO, you might even need to spice up some of this a little, though Disengage is a pretty good skill. And yes, I gave her Disengage C. Bodies buried on her hog farm kind of a thing that comes into the Noble Phantasm later. Insurance fraud and all that stuff. Got away with a few things. But supposedly, one of her associates, Ray Lemfier, was a hand at the farm and helped set up some stuff. Confessed to everything, but when they went to go search the house, they did supposedly, find her decapitated body and, declared her dead, allegedly removed in her fire. But like I said, the body was headless, so they couldn't identify the remains. The doctor, in fact, the post-mortem doctor said that the headless body was about 50 pounds and 5 inches lighter than Belle Gunness. So disengage. This is another a fun story that you can really work in where this person might have gotten away and just went underground, ditched the cops and everything. But also did give her monstrous strength C, because allegedly she was pretty strong. And honestly, killing like 14 dudes and burying them in your hog farm, kind of monstrous.
Just a bit.
Just a little bit. We know what's up. And that does take us to her Noble Phantasm, the Hog Pen Burial.
Oh, excuse me.
Double Gesundheit, by the way.
Thank you.
So this is the Hog Pen Burial of the Black Widow of LaPorte. LaPorte, Indiana was where she did a lot of her murderifying. A C- rank anti-personnel Noble Phantasm. So this basically recreates her hunting grounds, her own farm in LaPorte. She, writes a letter in the newspaper or puts an ad out saying that, need a new husband fast. I'm a widow. Got to take care of the farm and the kids. Lure men in with promises of marriage. Steal their money. Murder them. Bury her in her hog pen. Also, including this farm, but there are several reports where it's suspected she committed arson to basically commit insurance fraud or, otherwise avoid problems, including this farm, to escape prosecution. Maybe even fake your death this way. So, using this Noble Phantasm, Belle can create fake bodies using spirit particles which resemble a destroyed servant, either by using her own energy or energy she's harvested from enemies she's killed. So combining with her disengage and presence concealment, she can use this to fake her death. She can basically release spirit particles to make you think you've defeated a servant, but actually she just, disengaged, reverted to an earlier phase, and, concealed her presence. Probably not like a protagonist servant, but one of those types of servants you run into and you're like, oh shit, how do we solve this, puzzle box escape room? When releasing its true name, she overlays a copy of her hog pen into the surrounding area. It forms a cloying, burning mud which erodes like acid and tries to drag enemies down into it where she can absorb their energy. It'll reduce the servant's agility and cause them damage over time, but the mystery is pretty weak, so most heroes probably would only be minorly inconvenienced, but it would be a helpful way to escape. So probably give self and evade. Since it is described as an area effect, even though I called it anti-personnel noble phantasm, probably would be AoE to do minor damage and poison. Probably I would say a quick up. If you really wanted to be funny, maybe get kind of interesting with the mechanics and have it be an on-death buff, where if you actually kill an enemy with this, keeping in mind this is probably a bronze or silver tier servant. If you actually killed an enemy, you get a skill reduction cooldown or maybe a heal on defeat. It's supposed to be sucking enemies into the cloying mud and sucking out their energy. But definitely an evade on NP is pretty good. Her armaments would probably involve a butcher knife, something she was said to actually use. And yeah, there you go. There's your story of a female serial killer. Who again, I know this was a real person, and I don't want to go all true crime and be like, man, serial killers are rad. They're really not. A lot of them are weirdos who needed to touch more grass. But this has all the vibes of a fictional story. Fucking, a super tall buff lady invites men to her house to fucking murder them and steal all their money, bury them in her literal pig pen. She's described as, physically strong, tall, and also probably faked her death. Her associate, Ray Lamphere, who was also supposedly her hired hand and on-again, off-again lover, he claimed that he killed her with a fire axe, but like I said, the body didn't match up. There have been a couple of, movie adaptations. The farm was allegedly made into a tourist trap for a little bit, and the Laporte Historical Society has a permanent Belle Gunness exhibit. So the usual, the usual small town shit you get. But yeah, that was designing assassins is fun sometimes, though most of them are not great people by design. I have not yet put up the poll for this month, but I'll probably do that while the episode is cooking. Spoilers, it'll be winter themed, because I think I still have 4 of those left that you guys haven't picked yet, so we'll figure it out. But that's going to bring an end to Free Talk at about an hour and a half of Mission Clock time, which takes us into What's Up?
What's
Lucky,
up?
You've only watched a little bit of Blue Eye Samurai, but I'll get your very, very initial impressions. You are interested in watching more, at least.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't entirely sure what it was about because I really hadn't seen anything about it. So, I started it up and immediately the art style just kind of blew me away. I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, it's got
a great art style.
What did somebody on Twitter say to describe it? They described it as if you are interested in Western animation studios taking animation as seriously as anime studios do.
Yeah.
Which that's not. I don't. I don't want to put any extra English on what that person said there. Put any extra spin on it. There are some studios who do really care about animation. The Spider-Verse movies are great, but there's a lot of Flash cartoon adult animation schlock out there that's very easy to animate.
Nope.
This is a work of art.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I haven't even really got out of the first scene. I think I had to pause it when the dude's 2 fingers and a gun barrel gets cut, and I'm just like, I can't remember why I had to pause there, but I had to pause there and I hadn't been able to get back, so I'm like, shit.
Well, that's a great time to get back into it.
Yeah.
So, breaking news! Everybody log into FGO because it's 1 million QP today! I'll take that shit. That's only half a Final Ascension, but whatever. Give me the juice. Actually, technically it's 2/3 of a Final Ascension. Those are usually for 5 stars, 3 mil, but, still. Or 1/3. It's a, what do we call it? Whatever the level before Max Ascension is. So I have my tab open. Let me close that. But yeah, so hopefully you do get back to it and we can talk about it because I have thoughts and feelings. It's great. Hideo Kojima thinks it's great.
Yeah, Hideo Kojima had a lot to say about it actually.
Yes, which does generally, the people are starting to read between the lines on Hideo Kojima's English Twitter because obviously that's curated and translated through. There's a difference between when he tweets out saw the Marvels and then when he gushes for 4 tweets about a movie. I think he's very hype about the new Mad Max thing they're doing, the Furiosa saga. But yeah, no, there's lots going on there. I do want to say this is kind of like brand new news, but it is relevant. We talked about a lot of games in our backlog, and I've got some stuff in there still. One thing that is probably going to start leaving the backlog soon is, despite the fact that they've won multiple awards, they've been nominated for multiple awards, and generally everybody is, super positive towards them. Susie Spearhunter put out a fucking 2-hour video about Phantom Liberty. I think she said it's 2 videos in one. I'll watch it when I'm caught up on Phantom Liberty. But CDPR is not content to rest on their laurels. They have announced in a series of streams today the 2.1 update coming soon. I don't know. Do we have a full actual time? It'll be next week sometime. Okay. Oh, it's coincided with the Ultimate Edition they're releasing, which releases on the 5th. But yeah. So in this 2.1 update, we've announced a lot of things. Generally, the vibe I'm getting from people is that it seems like CDPR basically looked at what the most popular mods on Nexus were, and just did those.
I mean, that's a fair tactic, I suppose.
That is what people are out for. So, the Metro system has been added for real in the real game. You can take the Metro now. It's not just a fast travel hub.
So, I haven't actually looked into the I think I saw the short list. Does this mean you actually walk on it and it travels? You physically travel on it?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen the stream myself, but I would assume it is probably because they said it's got, I think, 17 stops I've heard. That does sound like, yes, the tram actually physically travels and goes on a loop.
Pretty sick.
Between steps, which is good. Portable radio so you can listen to music outside of vehicles. Thank you. I hate having to climb out of my vehicle in the middle of some fucking samurai jams. Why would you do this to me? So, a new repeatable activity, repeatable street racing. So if you like the races from Claire's storyline, apparently there will be a repeatable one. You can now hang out with romantic partners. So obviously they added a lot of new text-based interactions, and you can go to usually wherever their hub is and check up on them with whatever's going on with you. But it does sound like you can now do some little more side content for hangouts and stuff, which is fucking adorable. That's great. I love this. They're going to add a boatload of new vehicles, especially motorcycles. I think they've confirmed at least one new car, which is another Porsche tie-in. But I think they said there's going to be 5 new motorcycles, which is pretty cool. I like motorcycles, and there's a couple of variants you can't get in the game elsewhere. Also, supposedly going to be adding some motorcycle mechanics to do wheelies and tricks. That's neat. They have rebalanced some boss fights. They're going to backfill some new car chases into some gigs and stuff and put them more in the world. And now, apparently, if you fuck with gang members on the street, this could also lead to a car chase because, now they can start to come looking for you if you cause trouble in their neighborhood, which that sounds neato. They've also got some, decent other, general quality of life stuff. There's going to be some new accessibility settings, which I don't know if they have fully gotten through. And if you're playing on PC, full DualSense support, so you can make use of all of the DualSense controller's features, get those sweet haptic triggers and stuff. And this is only what they've confirmed so far. This is not necessarily an exhaustive patch list yet. But this is pretty cool. I heard they were planning a 2.1 update, and I was thinking maybe that'll be a good time to get back in. I definitely feel like this is gonna pull me in to actually get back and finish Phantom Liberty and probably finish my run because I don't know how far I got into Phantom Liberty's story, but I got a decent number of quests down and did a lot of the side content and did a shitload of stuff in the main 2.0 game. So, I put in my, 50 or 60 hours and then, kind of plateaued a little with, doing lots of different stuff. So this sounds like a perfect excuse to get back in there and actually polish it off this month. Which is good, because fucking Cyberpunk's huge. I'm, looking at my hard drive space. I'm just oh yeah, it's still in there. It's big.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I definitely feel like I've been in a little bit of, I don't want to say, a fugue state when it comes to games, but definitely kind of all over the place with gaming. I've been putting in my daily dots with 14. I'm still in a phase of leveling things and catching up on stuff and doing beast tribes. Insert, Lucky's favorite slither of a snake lady image. But, I've been kind of bumming around on stuff and trying to figure out which of my big backlog games I actually want to get into first. And like I said, I reinstalled Ishin, but I don't know if I will actually get to it over the weekend. But definitely feel like 2.1 is going to pull me back into Cyberpunk. I did, as I mentioned, renew my PS Plus for the year during the sale, which was still $100, but it wasn't $130, which is better. So I've definitely been poking my PS Plus games to actually, find some value there, and that's given me some good casual stuff to poke. Though I will admit that also I just Sony, I know you're working on it, but can we work a little faster? Can we get a decent shooter that's not 500 gigs like Destiny 2? Like, you don't got anything, okay? Like, you have a shooter category, it's full of, like, third-person shooters. I guess I could play Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 2042, but those don't quite scratch the itch. I don't want to play Battlefield 5 with Adolf Drippler. An old Russian Badger joke. But, like, we could use some FPS up in here, okay? So I put my fucking Titanfall 2 disc back in. Hey, if you've been paying attention, people are right. Multiplayer seems pretty fixed. I can actually, like, get a matchmake even at 3 a.m. In about 2 minutes. And they've, like, actually got the game modes rotating correctly and shit. So, that's nice if you are a Titanfall fan. Yeah, I know. I was going to say, you can play Titanfall 2 again? Yes, I did. I know I'm predictable, but, you know, listen, it's a really tight game, okay? The gameplay's really good. I do hope that maybe they are going to make that Titanfall 3. I know they said they canceled it, but they feel like they're pushing TF2 again. But I've played a couple of other games. I'll give some quick reviews. As I may have discussed before, I've been a little bit on a, like, reconnecting to certain animated series I watched when I was younger. Been on a little bit of an Adventure Time kick. Adventure Time has some great video games, one of which is on PS Plus, Pirates of the Enchiridion. If you like old school turn-based RPGs that are inspired by Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, because it involves flooding the world map and driving around on a boat, it's pretty alright. I didn't beat it, but I beat the final boss, and I was kind of like, that's alright, that's a decent story. It's got some gaps, got some characters in it, got some funny stuff. Had a surprisingly robust, like, elemental system for a game that has 4 characters and only goes up 10 levels. Also, funnily enough, I don't know who was responsible for this because there were like 4 developers on the splash screen, but shockingly enough, has a Yakuza style leveling up system where you like the Yakuza 0, you feed money to make characters stronger. But it made stuff, easy to grind out, and it was kind of a fun, relaxing time. Like I said, if you're looking for those classic JRPG vibes, but don't want to necessarily commit the 40 hours, because there are some RPG-ass RPGs. I myself have to get back to Sea of Stars sometime, and I know that there's a lot of Square titles on PS Plus. But it was a fun little time. But what I recently got into over the past couple of days is Slay the Spire. It's a very popular card-based roguelike. I'm sure people have recommended it to me before. I'm pretty sure it's been on my wish list before. But like I said, I was just deep in the PS Plus hole, and I was like, how big is this? This is like 3 gigs? I'll do it. And I've been having a lot of fun. I'm okay at roguelikes and roguelites, but I love card-based games. Like, that is a thing that, like, I definitely, as much like many other things, other certain styles of games and genres of fiction and stuff, like, I got into card games when I was young, and I played a lot of them. I've given away most of it, but I had fucking Pokemon. I still have all my Yu-Gi-Oh! Never gave away any of that stuff. I have some original printings of the Hungry Burger, baby. He's unfortunately beat to shit. Those old cards have not aged super well. But, I collected, like, the briefly printed Harry Potter trading card game before the movies even came out and shit. Like, so, like, I like card games. I play card games. This is a card game that is also a roguelike RPG. And it lets me do the dumb bullshit I like in these games. I've been playing a lot of the second character, the Hunter, who's all about draw advantage. Draw cards, discard cards, draw more cards, discard more cards. Love that shit. Having a great time. I have completed 1 whole run. So, it's open behind me right now if you accidentally hear the title music. But it's something that I can, because it's turn-based and card-based and, goes in little nodes, I can literally pick it up, play a couple fights or something, put it down to go write some show notes, or to keep working on Singularity War, which I'm trying to bus up to a playable completion soon, which should generally be. We're all good with gear. I've given the gear packages. The gear packages seem positively received by everybody. Yeah, I'm glad, because I had to go deep in the tank and think, because like I said, we got like 14 careers, which is probably too many, but I wanted to make sure I had all the character parallels, both from the fiction and from the Sprawl covered. So I had to, do some finagling to make that work, but people seem to like it, so now we're just trying to make sure that I've got enough work in drones and vehicles for that to be playable, and then everything else I can probably freeball. Also, by the way, I posted yesterday, if you're listening to this, on YouTube to public, because hey, if you didn't know, patrons get access to this shit early. But we have the AP of our probably final job for the Sprawl. One, because like a lot of characters are they're literally hitting their limits. We're running out of advancement options, and we have shitloads of money. Like, Claymore, of course, is always broke.
I am.
I think you've always played Claymore that way, and it works. Yep. But, like, several of the characters are like, yeah, I just have, like, 20 cred lying around. I can buy whatever. Doesn't matter. Dallas didn't blink when I told him the price to buy another APC. He was like, yeah, I got it. I'm like, okay, roll it out, buddy.
Again, I am not entirely convinced that Dallas maths properly, but whatever.
I think he is, though, because he started with some extra, and, like, I mean, it's entirely possible he hasn't added up all of them, but he usually bets big every time, and it's like, yeah. No, he probably won't, because there'll be a time skip for stuff. I am giving you guys, extra money for your veterancy status. But strictly speaking, some of you are planning on spending some of this on stuff like, quote-unquote retirement and things. Claymore continues to be broke in the future because he's had to buy more guns and stuff.
Oh, no, it's great. It was actually a mistake on my end. I missed a key phrase in the phrasing of it, so, because we're actually pulling some systems from, Shadow of the Beanstalk, which is a Genesis, splat book based off their,
Android Netrunner.
Yes, thank you.
Which is a decent cyberpunk setting. I think it's fairly unique and well liked, but it does not correlate 1-to-1 with what we got going on with the Singularity War. So
no, but they have something that I was actually quite pleased about, because one of the things I do enjoy about the Sprawl is the contacts of just naming people, knowing them, and doing stuff for them. I actually pulled on that bit in our previous session. If you listen, you'll understand. Both of the people I contacted were both the people I contacted were contacts that I had previously named, contacts, and I can continue. Like, I'm totally important my contact list to.
Hey, that's great, baby. That means I have because I write down your contacts for future reference. That means I've got more NPCs to pull on.
Yeah, but oh, I remember where I was going with that. The Shadow of the Beanstalk has something called the favor system, in which basically you can owe a favor to someone, and someone can owe a favor to you. And they have three different scales of small, medium, large, and they have a bunch of tables about this. And I liked it, and I actually asked the Meg about this. Hey, are we going to use this? And the Meg was like, yeah. And I was like, cool.
Yeah, I really like the favor economy. It's basically obligation from Edge of the Empire, but not a mechanical score. It's much more narrative, which I appreciate.
Excuse me. And so I was looking at character options, because that's the thing about Genesis. All the little splatbits usually have something little weird in it. Like, I think fucking like realms have like Aether fucking
Yeah, you've got in Keyforge, you've got Amber, which is like an entirely different resource for doing magic and supernatural shit. There are even talents that require you to spend Amber.
Yeah, is that also where the heroic abilities come from?
No, that's from Realms of Terranoth.
That's Realms of Terranoth.
Yeah, Realms of Terranoth is the heroic abilities, which are like, your fucking... If you were in a MOBA or something, it would be your alt ability, basically.
Yeah.
Which is why those got ported into Gensekai. You've heard them before if you've been listening to that. If you haven't been listening to Gensekai, shame on you.
Shame. But, and usually with that, they usually have some character creation options, and in the favor economy things, you can do a thing where you can owe someone a favor of certain size, and you can get certain benefits. It's, usually the benefit is, XP and credits. But that's what I thought. It is not XP and credits. It is XP or credits. I got hit by the Andor, baby.
You gotta watch out for those Andors.
They're
important. I know Axe asked me to clarify how gear packages work.
Yeah. You gotta be careful. So, unfortunately, I had already spent everything, I already spent all my EXP, and I feel like I'm at a really good, comfortable position, because I think I've mentioned this before. I am replaying Claymore. I genuinely really like Claymore's character. It's a hoot.
Yeah, I don't think I've talked about this. It's real refreshing to run these Sprawl games where I just, pitch like literally to give you guys a hint, to reason to listen to the AP. Basically, they're playing what Axe pitched to me originally as the reverse train job. You are trying to escort something on a train that will, because of narrative convention, definitely probably be heisted. But I was like, okay, you guys have your own, box container car all to yourselves. If you just have the package in it, that's probably a little weird. You might want to take some fake cargo. So Lucky goes out to his contacts, and one of them, through like a chain of deals, comes back to him and is just like, hey, I need you to transport some drugs to Vegas. I'm going to give you one pallet full of synthetic cocaine?
I thought it was 2 pallets.
Might be 2 pallets. Yeah, it was 2 pallets. And it's just like, and you guys were like, yeah, cool, okay. like, just, you guys don't care you're moving drugs.
No, I think it's great. Like, honestly, I think that's one of the problems I usually find with playing, like, a lot of tabletop RPGs. Generally, you have to be the quote-unquote good guys. I think this is one of the things I think I can enjoy the most about the cyberpunk dystopia is you don't have to be a good guy. You're just a guy trying to get by, and usually that means doing just whatever.
High tech, low life, as they say. That's one of the watchwords.
Mm-hmm. But so Claymore, I already spent the experience and credits for Claymore, and I'm building Claymore. Claymore's gonna be a cyborg. Hopefully, at the end of this, I blow myself up somehow.
Oh, if you don't, I will. I have a plot hook to blow you up if it doesn't happen naturally.
Hella. And I'm going into the Genesis game as a cyborg, and like I played several different iterations of Genesis, including Star Wars, Gensekai, and Aaron just did a basic one. He did a really good job. I actually really enjoyed that game.
Yeah.
But usually when we play this, someone usually plays the construct character. Like back in Star Wars, Marth played Dr. Bex, a B1 battle droid,
he was a BX commando droid who was a doctor/sniper, so we called him Dr. Murderbot.
Yes. And in Gensekai, Dallas plays the Mort Collective, which is a construct.
Yep.
So this time I was like, no, I wish to be the cyborg and have all that fun stuff. And one of the things that they can do is Omega is putting together a cyberware list, and it's I actually found this in I didn't know this in. If you install cyberware, it lowers your strain threshold, which is basically your mental fortitude. If you install BioWare, usually it doesn't cost a strain, but using it costs a strain. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, I think Shadows of the Beanstalk did a pretty good split there, where like BioWare is different. It's usually in these cyberpunk type RPGs, like it's even in the original, CP 2020 and Shadowrun and stuff. But they managed to differentiate. BioWare you have to install with a resilience check. Basically, you have to see if it takes even, and then when you use it, it's usually suffer strain to do a thing. Whereas cyberware is just, it's tech. Once it's installed, it always works, baby. But, you're removing parts of your body and replacing them with chrome and plastic. It's heavy, uses power. Might be a little strain on your brain, but we are not explicitly playing with any kind of humanity loss or essence cost rules. I even had to write a sidebar about that.
So I'm excited. I can basically, playing a cyborg, I can pump Claymore as full of cyberware as I want, which is something I was doing anyway. Claymore was like a minor cyberware addicted. Basically, why Claymore was always broke? He was always buying cyberware. Let me pull up Claymore.
Is actually true. Yes, I was going to mention it earlier. Later if you didn't, because the reason why Claymore is broke is because every time you had 4 to 8 cred, depending on how much the cyberware costs required, you were like, all right, time for a new shiny option.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to carry that over into the new one, and, I'm just going to keep constantly upgrading Claymore as I can. So guess what? I'm probably still going to be broke. I'm just going to be a broke-ass robot probably living in an RV, which I find hilarious. If anyone asks, Claymore, why don't you just ask Suzaku to take care of you? It's all like, because technically I'm not actually supposed to be out. You just be like,
Alternatively, it's like, well, I'm dead.
Yeah. I'm not supposed to be out, and I'm dead. Man, I don't get my UBI anymore. I don't have my house anymore. All my accounts have been frozen, and guess what? People don't generally want to hang out with a dead man, so...
Claymore, the man who blew up his name. Maybe we should call you J Moore.
I am not going to be called J Moore.
No, we'd have to come up with something much funnier than Kiryu claiming to be Joryu at every opportunity.
But, so, of course, I'm putting together a thing, and as Omega said, he is giving us, he decided to give us he gave us Legacy XP and credits, and we have the credits we can get from a favor. So, I decided
character bonuses. You guys, exception of Dallas, who's going to switch PCs, all of you have been presumably playing these characters, keeping these characters you've been playing, so it only fits.
And so, what I decided to do is I decided to jump a majority of my money into cyberware. I was only able to get 2 pits, but I was able to bump my character Soak and Wound Threshold immediately. I'm starting the game with 4 Soak and a Wound Threshold of 20. That
Keeping
is
in mind,
not...
the 20 is very impressive, but that's 4 Soak naked.
No, excuse me, 5 Soak naked. I forgot my...
Right, yeah, you get a free point for being a cyborg because you're made of fucking robots. Yeah, no, it's like, yes, that is pretty impressive. You are like you have as much soak as normally characters in full combat armor do before actually putting on your combat armor,
Yes.
which you don't own yet. But
and this was done through 2 pieces of cyberware, and I was like, yes, because I'm basically trying to make Claymore do 2 things: be big, be scary. Like, I do hardly recommend people to go listen to the Sprawl APs, if only this. Claymore, the reason why I find Claymore as a hoot, because while he is not an idiot and he's very technically minded, he doesn't he doesn't put up with shit from anybody. Like I said, he has killed a lot of people. And God, I think besides mix it up, I think it is. I think about the same thing I do is just play hardball. Like,
yeah, I mean, you roll to hit the street to go to contact a decent amount as well, but in the action phase, you are mix it up, play hardball. That's your job.
Yeah, and so I like. All right, I don't like. I'm also I'm building Claymore to be kind of a jack of all guns character. Like, just from the characters, I have 4 out of 5 combat skills, and I got 2 points at 3 of them. I just don't have 2 points in gunnery, and I don't have melee as a career skill, so I'm just all like, like I'm considering picking up something that gave me melee as a career skill. I'm debating it, but so I keep wandering, but I haven't really had a chance to talk about Claymore, so I'm kind of gushing here. I apologize.
No, go for it. We've alluded to Singularity War, but haven't gone deep in a while.
So again, I spent all this money. I hadn't actually bought gear. I particularly here's the thing. I thought I would have 2,500, 2.5k. The 2 pieces of cyberware I bought cost me 1.5k, which is the subdermal armor and the cybernetic organ heart. That's the armor and wound threshold bonus, respectively. I don't remember if it was. I don't remember if it was something someone said or if I just noticed it myself. But then I realized I had done it wrong. And you can only get I think it was like 25 experience or 15 experience. I can't remember what it was. Or the 1k credits. And I was all like, shit. You know, the room goes dark, slow zoom on my face. I'm just, looking between both options. I was like, And I actually decided that, no, I have bought these 2 pieces of cyberware. They make me feel strong and pretty. I'm going to stick with that. Or was it 500? No, I remember it was like, yeah, because it was the 500, 1,000, 1,000. Yeah, that's right, because it was the 500 starting cash because of the,
Yes, you can either pick a package or just get your default in Genesis is you get 500 money units to spend.
Yeah, and I used the 500 mini units and the 1,000 credits, to get the 2 pieces of cyberware. So I'm literally going into this game with 0 gear. I have my fists and I have my body. And whatever job, like, I am going to become a motherfucking pack rat as we go on our first job. Like, I just might show up to the first job and with a towel wrapped around my junk, and just be like, what? I just got off the table. Think I was gonna miss this? And just as we, go through enemies some way, just like, mine. These boots don't fit.
The classic. I need your boots, your jacket.
Your sunglasses. Not well, I can't really use sunglasses. I have been very vocal about the fact that I want a non-human head. Like, I was a big fan of Appleseed as a kid. I loved Appleseed as a kid. It's such a good movie. Actually, no, I take that back. It's probably not such a good movie now, but whatever. It was, cute anime girl, falling in love with giant cyborg dog. And I was like, I want that. You can't see me, but I had DiCaprio pointed. So Claymore's head is probably going to be something similar to Appleseed's, like the big forward lens, the non-human mouth structure, big antennae on the side. I'm like, yeah. Ugh, she gets me excited. Yep. No, don't worry about lending me a gun. Trust me. Either the first person God, I just might punch someone in the fucking alleyway. I don't fucking know. It depends. Listen, I like to play Claymore morally ambiguous, and it works so well.
Claymore's punched a lot of people in allies.
I have.
I mean, worst comes to worst, I think. Which is it? I think it's 3 stun grenades on Spy. Is the package that comes with the monofilament sword that Wolf really wanted. I don't know if he's going to use all those grenades.
Nah. Listen, I got 3 brawn and 2, and I got 3 brawn and 2 in brawl. I can probably punch someone. Actually, what kind of check would it is to like punch, like to wrestle someone's gun away from them? Is that a check or is that a talent?
There's an explicit. There are a couple of talents that disarm enemies, but that would probably be a brawl check and hope for advantage, or maybe even like an, because you can just make skill checks as actions. You could probably do like an opposed athletics check to just be like
mine. Yeah, so like as we get on jobs, I'll just start building up Claymore's gear from there. Like, and the more I thought about it, the more I was like, yeah, no, I like that. Let's go from like, I was gonna say 0 to hero, but hero is not what Claymore is. I was gonna say 0 to Firo yet, but Claymore is not a Pokemon either.
And also to reiterate, doesn't matter because he's not doing the package. It's either or.
Yeah, no. Actually, do I still get the 1d100 of credits? Because that's in the starting go packages.
Yes, it's listed in the package, but that is also just a feature I like in general. Because that's in Star Wars, where you would spend the 500 and you'd still roll for what your pocket money is. So we'll keep it that way.
Okay. I rolled.
It's
70.
just that because there are a couple of packages which give you a little bit of extra flat money, like Techie gets like 50 plus the D100. I think Fixer gets like 100 plus the D100. That would not count if you don't pick the package.
Okay.
Oh no, Fixer gets. That's right. Fixer was very hard for me to design, so they have a very minimal list. You get a gun or a baton, you get concealed armor and a radio, you get 1 dose of calf, and you still get 200 plus 1d100 credits because you are the Fixer. You don't really need a lot of gear. I mean, 0 to Legend is correct, but unfortunately it doesn't rhyme.
So you gotta make it rhyme.
We'll workshop.
That's important.
It's got to keep the mnemonic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have started working on drones. As soon as you've got 300 credits, you can buy a cargo drone.
Oh, you have? Pull that shit up.
Yeah, we've got a few. I might have to expand from the list that's in the shadows as well, but there's a couple of fun things. I haven't yet done, because Dallas has said his character concept is to basically be Gage from Borderlands, which I'm okay with. So I gotta include a humanoid, punchman drone. Ooh, maybe that's what I could do that as what do I call that? I don't know, but like the boxing dummy drones from Cyberpunk. That might be a good, starting frame of reference.
Oh, delivery drones have a 12E. That's actually a fair bit. Holy shit.
That's in the book, too, yeah. No, they got a lot of encumbrance for minions. So does the cargo one. But that's more, like I said, the drone key is, or Robo-Mule is, about still 2. Yeah, no, I like that.
We were talking about how many weapons I'm going to have, because, again, I'm playing a jack of all guns, so I want to have a lot of guns, like, going all the way from, like, an air rifle to the rail cannon. If I can get away with 2 rail cannons, I'm gonna. I will buy 2 servo arms and just dual-wield rail cannon to be terror incarnate.
And this is why the Hunter Killer Drones has anti-air missiles. Damage 20, breach 2. Only limited ammo 2, though, so if you can dodge twice.
I don't know if I'll get dodge. I probably will. Maybe. I don't know. But, no, like, I haven't been going, like, full hog and squealing about it in our Discord, but I am super excited about getting, like, I don't know if I like. No, I think I'm in general. I've just been excited about the Sprawl and stuff. Like I said, I mention this every time, but I really do love all the work that we've done in it.
Yes, I highly recommend. It is the most popular one. I'm sure we'll get back to it. I'm still good for Shinsengumi. I have so much shit to do for you guys.
No, I'm still good for Shinsengumi.
I keep thinking of characters and boss fights and shit. I feel like Shinsengumi is since I like crystallized my rough idea of like where I want you guys to go. I think that's a game that can always be on the back burner because I'm not gonna scratch the itch of like characters and boss fights I want to introduce until we scratch that itch. Like some other ttrpg is not going to fill that in for me because I'm game mastering. So I want to do stuff in the south still a little. Got new characters for you to meet. There's place in the north and obviously going to Longu. Like all that stuff will still be there. But I'm glad everybody really engaged in the Sprawl as well because it let me get into the design and the fluff of it as well, which is continuing to progress through all kinds of stuff. And I have a lot of fun doing this stuff. Like I came up with this lifestyles table, which I got to heavily editorialize.
I'm still laughing about you have to listen to your abuela talk about how many guys she killed in the war.
Yeah. Hey, listen, it's cheap, but you gotta live with the extended family. And some of these prices are fucking ridiculous, but that's part of the drive. Do I expect any of these characters to make 200,000 credits, 200,000 cred, and buy a fucking McMansion in the Enclave? No, but it's important that you realize that's what your credit check is. Just fucking go somewhere and retire. The safe house is much more functional. I'm pretty sure if Claymore punches enough guys and steals enough guns to sell, you can hit 50k.
It's the plan. But trust me, I got a giant list of cyberware I'm gonna get. Listen, I need the eyes, I need the ears, I need the combs, I need to get the limbs twice. Minimum, I gotta get the emotional dampener, I have to get the EMP hardening, I have to get skill wires.
You definitely don't want an EMP hardening.
I'm definitely going to the EMP hardening.
What's your...
I need...
Your wound threshold is big. What's your strength threshold right now? Is it just 10?
No, it's not 10. Wait, it might be 10. It's 10!
It is indeed 10. Okay, cool.
Wait, no. Isn't it? Wasn't it? Wait, no, my willpower's 3. Hang on a second. I feel like it should be 11. Let me double check.
Cyborg is... Yeah, it would be 11 if you've got 3 willpower, because it's 8 plus willpower.
Yeah, that's what it was. But still, that's low, baby.
That is considering that you are a veteran character, that is normal for a starting character who is, not have willpower 3.
No,
it is supposed to be a trade-off.
Yeah. Normally, I think, a stock standard human being the stockiest would have a 12 wound threshold and a 12 strength threshold. So...
Yeah, because they start with 2s and everything, and it's 10 plus.
Yeah. Well, I think it makes sense. Claymore has been through a traumatic experience, and he might not be fully there. He did get, put into a full body prosthetic.
Yes.
I had to think of the word there for a second.
They managed to Suzaku Security managed to scrape together enough of your brain to fill us a skull case and put it in something.
Yeah, so
we've got enough of his brain, so
might as well. He did say. I'm just saying that, Claymore literally signed his body away for, research in science and possible resuscitation. And higher ups at Suzaku went like, good enough.
Listen, it's experimental. It's cutting edge tech.
Cutting edge tech. And then Claymore proceeds to Claymore, which is, being really bad at laying low. I love Claymore's backstory. It's like, yeah, I was working for Suzaku and they loved me, but I was too low profile. Once I threw a guy off a building, it was great.
Yeah, we don't really get to, and hopefully this is something that I know, Aaron, for instance, has said. Without the structure of the literal ticking clocks, hopefully we can get more downtime, more role-playing moments, and actually have some of these character interactions, because, we don't in character talk a lot about Claymore's, sordid history going all the way back to the war, and then the wars that happened after that war, and there probably there's some conversations at the bar. There's gonna be some interactions with characters and stuff. The back and forth, the bants, because you've been there and done stuff, but there's also the freedom to actually get out there and put you guys places.
That is true. That was the thing I was thinking about. Yeah, because we're always worrying about the legwork and the action clock. Because there's no moments just to sit down and drink a beer. Yeah,
because it would be. I mean, it's not counterproductive per se, but there's no mechanical structure to that. So it's just a scene that's okay, we could hang out and role play. We've had some really good role playing moments in the Sprawl, but the point is we're supposed to be prepping for our job and executing for our job. So do we want to just stop and chill? Even if we're not rolling, Axe talking about how rolling can be dangerous, as you guys did had some funny failures.
I think we had 3 snake eyes. 2 of them were Aaron's. No, we had 3. I'm pretty sure we had 4 sets of snake eyes.
I cursed Aaron with the snake eyes, but some of that was also his own. I don't want to say hubris, but I'll say hubris because it's funny. Because making him roll assess because it's you don't have eyes or night vision or anything. Okay, so with your flashlight, you're looking at this guy. You make me an assess, and I'm pretty sure that was one of the snake eyes. But yeah, so it'll be good to get in there. I definitely have to see exactly how this plays out. I'm kind of debating what initial job I should put you guys on, because on the one hand, obviously I'm sure there's plenty of unresolved stuff in Pacifica, in the Bay and the other megacities, which we haven't touched on what their cultures are like at all. But also I'm really debated coming up with some bullshit to send you guys all the way over to Londinium or something. The London.
Where's
megacity.
Londinium?
It's just the London megacity.
Oh,
the city of London.
Really?
Because again, there's reasons to go international now, and I've had some fun cooking some lore I haven't written down about the various city states, including London.
Oh,
for instance, the United Kingdom has dissolved, but Crown Corp is the sole proprietor of the London megacity, which is the corporation and the British Crown.
Crown Corp.
Yeah, Crown Corp. They got a lot of subsidiaries. Ruled by Queen Victoria II, because there's a big neo-Victorian thing.
Oh.
You've
if you want to send us, I'm not going to say no. Again, I literally have nothing.
Yeah, no. I could think of some things. Like I said, I got to think about it and see, but I've been coming up with, funny lore. there's like there's different layers of what I think Londinium security is like. You've got the what they call Scotland Yard, the Crown Metropolitan Police. The paramilitary security of Crown Corp is the Queen's Guard, obviously, but you're in trouble if you run into Londinium's black dogs.
Oh,
because everybody needs spooky, black budget crews.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just having fun about the Sprawl, but it is almost midnight, and I do have to edit this, so I can go
Yeah,
back
if
to
we
writing more Sprawl.
I mean, I'm for it.
Listen, drive tabs take up a lot of memory, okay? But yeah, the other thing I wanted to note as just like a funny little pop culture thing is we've been having a weird day in the gaming sphere, and I believe it was either Wario or Waluigi's original character designer has pitched the concept art for Wapeach. Not quite as I think powerful as mimetic as Bowsette's design that came up that one time, but like definitely I've been seeing some fan art and some very funny things on the internet. But yeah, it's cute, but also very funny. Big stompy boots and stuff. But yeah, that was just something I wanted to throw in at the end there. But that's all we got. Let's see, we're going for about 2:20. It's probably a good time to wrap it up. It's a shorter episode because we don't have like a big pop culture deep dive or a major FGO event going on for us right now to get into. So we'll wind it up in here. If you want more with us, please listen to that Sprawl episode. They're mostly self-contained. You can listen to them, and if you this first one in the end card, it's got a link to episode 0 where we talk about the setting and stuff. If you're interested in that, and that one's pretty long, so check that out. And that'll probably be about time for an outro. I think. Sorry, I took a deep breath to speak, and then it turned into a yawn. Ugh.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, it snuck up on me. Okay. All right. Let's get out of here. Hey, if you're watching this episode on YouTube, be sure to give us a like on YouTube. It does help. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. You can also hit up our Discord. If you want a prompt to leave a comment, because I know some people enjoy that sort of thing, tell us what you think Nasu Christmas will be about. Will it be about Trom? Will it be about LB6 again? Let us know what your thoughts are. Get your Santa bets in, so that when it happens, you can be like, "I told you, I called it." Discord links, as I said, are in the video description and on the channel page. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel to get more contentos like those APs and other stuffs. And even if you're already subscribed, make sure you ring that bell for notifications so you always know when we post a new video or when we're streaming. You can also join our channel memberships for access to membership badges and emotes, like the ones that were used in Mailbag this week. And, like I said, at the front of the show and earlier, you can support us on Patreon. It's a new month, so it's a great time to support us. Just right first right now as we're talking. It'll be the second in about 4 minutes. But you can get access to episodes early in audio format for as little as $1 a month or approximately $10 a year if you want to splurge on an annual membership. And also other goodies like that Fanservant Friday poll and other fun stuff. And I think that's everything this week.
Alrighty.
So, good day and good night, everyone.
Bye.